Who's got the glass, the dinghy glass? We're ready. There we go. Look at that. That's great. Thank you very much. So before we start tonight, I'd like to recognize the committee that worked so hard on this event together. They've been working for almost 3 months to find the venue, arrange the event, announce the event, plan the food, do the invites. It's kind of like planning a wedding, except there's no seating chart. I'd like to introduce the committee and then ask them to please stand. Gene Gowdy, our chair. Her timing is impeccable. Sue Everton, please. Joe George. Jack Jemzik. Mark McCandlish. Cindy and Gordy Talley. Gordy gets a pass. He's only got 1 knee. It's okay. Emily Zomack. And Ed Ryan, who couldn't be with us tonight. Thank you all. This has been a year of a lot of volunteers. Gene, stand up. Thank you guys for all your hard work. Okay. I was quite honored, pretty intimidated when the committee asked me to host this event tonight. Probably more petrified than when my parents dropped me off at the club when I was 12, 44 years ago. I spent the majority of my childhood probably at the club. Worked for Dave until I was 21. I was cleaning clubs, stocking beer, maybe selling a little bit of beer before I was able to. Sweeping, bringing empties into the basement of the old clubhouse. Anybody ever been in the basement of the old clubhouse? Right? The old clubhouse is more terrifying than the Cat 3 tornado we wore out, hurricane we rode out the other day in Sarasota. So many of you in the room have been members all the way through. Some of you for even as long as 50 years. It says something about a place when people come back year after year, year in and year out for that long. Truly incredible. Okay, so 46 years in the same job. Those of you who know me pretty well know I'm kind of analytical. I'm a numbers guy. So I tried to think about Dave's accomplishment in numbers. My wife and I own a business. We always talked about the importance of every time you talk to a customer, even if you have hundreds of thousands of interactions a year, how important every interaction is with a customer. So I started thinking about Dave and his interactions with our membership. So 46 years times 15,000 rounds a year. Let's assume that each golfer has an interaction with the pro shop at least twice a round. Okay? Now we all know that Dave wasn't there for every interaction. He missed 5 of them in 1996 because he had a doctor's appointment. Anyways, so So let's assume that Dave was there for 75% of the interactions. Anyone want to take a guess at that number? It's 1 million interactions. A million, right? So that's 1 million times that you have to have your game face on, right? And you have to make sure that the carts are running, that the tournament's organized, beer and the soda are ordered, that Joe, who has his putter that he ordered, has it. The phone rings, somebody wants to watch the Sox lose on TV. Those pesky board presidents have something to talk about. The bills are paid, the taxes are filed. Everything you have to do when you run a business and do 1 million interactions. It's pretty hard, right? But every time you walk into the bro shop, you're greeted with a friendly smile. Think about for a second how hard it is to do that day in and day out for 46 years. You know, we all have our off days. Kathy quit on me a couple times. Ouch. But Dave never seemed to have any of those days. I'm not sure how many pros stay in one place for 46 years. Pretty sure the number's pretty darn low. And I would venture to say no one's ever gonna do it again, right? Dave made what is a very hard business look easy. And we're all beneficiaries for that. So, for that, I think we say thank you. I'd like to bring up Ed Twohig Jr. To deliver some remarks for the family.
By the way, Mr. Elkins, you didn't get out of the job. Dave fired you. Is that correct? Dave fired you.
It's probably a smart move.
First time I met Steve, he was like 10 years old. He was a good player then. He's a better player now. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Ed Twohig Jr., and on behalf of the Twohig family, I'd like to thank the committee and all of you here this evening to come and honor Dave for his 46 years as service to the Amherst Golf Club. At this time, I'd like to introduce some of the Twohigs that are here this evening. And when I introduce you, could you please stand up? My wife, Ann. My brother, John. His son, Wesley, who's hiding on us back there. My brother, Tommy. His wife, Lee. My brother, Michael. And our cousin, Ellie. Sit down, Ellie. You're going to have to get up. If you Google the word PGA golf professional, you would see a picture of Dave, a man who's devoted his life to the game of golf, the Amherst Golf Club, its members and guests, while sacrificing time on his own golf game, and especially time with his wife Sandy and son Kevin. Dave, along with Carl and your staffs, have established one of the finest clubs in New England and have carried on a tradition established by my father years ago that the Amherst Golf Club is a welcoming to all golfers. A short example of that happened a few years ago. A gentleman approached the first tee at the former club in South Amherst. Asked the threesome if he could play. They said, we'd rather not. So he got back in his car, he drove up to Amherst, met Dave. Dave took him right away to the first tee to play with 3 members. That's what you call professional. Folks, it's not where you play, it's who you play with that makes the game of golf, the Amherst Golf Club, and David outstanding. That's very, very important. It's where you play, it's not that important. You want to play with somebody you enjoy playing golf with. Now, as we go further on, Dave will not be at the club very much, but you might see him playing and giving a few lessons here and there. On behalf of my brothers, myself and my brothers, 5 brothers, we'd like to thank all of you for the friendships we've had over the years and all the great memories. And before I close, I want to wish the Amherst Golf Club a 125th anniversary. That's quite a feat. I understand I've got 2 minutes left in my 10 minutes. So I'm going to call up my brother John, who's got a presentation for Dave.
Shortly before our mother decided to grace heaven with her presence in 2010, she gave me a behest to bequest one of my father's most favorite, cherished retirement gifts that he received 46 years ago to their son Dave on his retirement. Was very interesting is back when Dad was the pro, the needling, I would say, would be off the Richter scale to compare to what I heard the last 2 days at Amherst Golf Course. He frequently told the women who played at Amherst Golf Course that a woman should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. And consequently, he suffered giving them the last words. Mom asked me to then pass on to Dave something that I've taken care of for the last 20 plus years is retired golf pro belong in the kitchen. One trait that Dave has that my dad never had was the ability to cook. And last night, Wesley and I enjoyed a wonderful steak with the fixings. So to supplement that gift is a set of spices from Winter Garden, Florida that will help you as you go into retirement and take care of Sandy cooking all the meals. This is not after the hurricane, but it didn't get wet. Dave and Sandy, retirement is significantly underrated. It's unbelievable. And from all of your brothers and the extended Twohig family, may the most you hope for in retirement be the very least you receive. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'd like to ask Carl Teschke to come up and give us a few words. So Carl and Dave have worked together for 25 years.
29.
29. That is a long time. So, Carl said that he was going to take an hour.
Well, first of all, Ron told me to keep this short and sweet and give him more time, so I'll make this really short. But I also want to thank the committee for putting this wonderful party together for a special man. We all love him. He'll be sorely missed when he's here. I want to thank Dave for everything that he's done for me all these years. He's taught me so much, you know, from everything from how the course should be played, marking the course, and different types of tournaments and schedules and tournaments. So thank you there. Sandy Twohig, you have been missed on this too. You need a lot of thanks to you for all you've done throughout the years. You've done a lot behind the scenes that not many people realize, and I always did. So I want to thank you. You know, Kevin, you were always there for your father, helping him work. You needed. It was great to have you there with him. Maybe we'll still see you around the course. Dave has done a great ambassador of the golf club, welcoming probably everyone here at the course at some point in time. So the AGC owes him a major debt of gratitude for all that. You know, we couldn't have done without him. The membership would not be where it is today without him.
Here, here.
And I want to thank Dave from me and my family for all you've done throughout the years for us, helping us out in any ways, being a major supporter of me. So I really want to thank you, and I wish you the best in your retirement.
Thank you, Carl. Okay, Coach Ron Moyer. Everybody okay? Everybody ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. R-rated or PG-rated?
What do you want? Getting out of the way. Priest is sitting in front of you. He goes both ways.
Steve, thank you so much for that effusive and over-the-top introduction. And I just want to tell everybody, you may all sit down. You can sit down. Frank Myers, you can sit down. Oh, you want to? Okay, you are. All right. And I also want to thank the committee for having the poor judgment of giving me a microphone and a group of people. You can thank them on the way out. All right, when you get a chance. Okay, let's see what we got here. Coach, leader, champion, teacher, legendary sports figure, and all around great guy. But enough about me. And seriously, Dave, of all of the people in the sports world that I have come to love and admire, you are almost one of them. Well, you heard the good stuff from Carl and Steve and from the Twohig family. Now I get to do the rebuttal. For many decades, Dave, you've been the unquestioned leader of the Amherst Golf Club family. And as I always say, family is a lot like fudge. Mostly sweet and a few nuts. And you're just the right person to deal with us. I started Amherst Golf Club 25 years ago with a 16 handicap. And after lessons with you, years in the league, many tournaments, and the legends for 20 years, I am now a proud 26 handicap. So thank you, Dave. And I've always appreciated your willingness to continue to help me, and I just want you to know it's greatly appreciated. For whenever I ask you to help me with my swing, you never fail to ask which one. I offer you tonight here at the Delaney House my top 10 personal observations, or should I say Twohig touchstones, or the one I like best, Twohig treasures of golf pro Dave Twohig. The overall message, however, that I've learned about golf from Dave is that clearly God invented the game of golf for the sole purpose of punishing people who retire early. Now here are my top 10 observations of Mr. Twohig. Number 10, Dave is clearly not a high-tech person. Am I right?
You are right.
Pieces of paper and little stubby pencils everywhere. And I have to tell you that one time, he accidentally butt dialed me. But the amazing thing about that was he was calling from a rotary phone. I don't know how you did that, Dave. Dave has always helped me with my purchase of golf equipment. And he's had to change some things and extend some things for me. But Dave, I did not think that those orthopedic golf shoes that you recommended would help. But I stand corrected. Thank you, Dave. Dave's people skills are legendary, as you heard. However, I gotta add to that. His tolerance for idiots really needs some serious work. After, I think it was the Legends announced that we were installing a new practice driving cage, I was the first person to arrive, grabbed my clubs, I went over, and I hit a bunch of balls, and I ran right into the clubhouse. I said, Dave, the cage does not work. I lost the first 10 balls I hit. And Dave very calmly looked at me and said, yeah, we didn't install the net yet. Dave's compassion with struggling golfers is widely known. One time, I was having a rough match and I get to the 9th hole, of course you know what that means, right? And I was particularly frustrated because I scored a 6 on the 9th hole. And Dave was up there watching, and I went up to him and I said, you know, Dave, man, I got a 6 on the 9th hole. And, you know, he's always encouraging. And he said, well, you must have chipped in from the rough. Thank you for the confidence that you've instilled in my game over the years, Dave. Number 6, like me, Dave has always carried the heavy burden of being the best looking of all his brothers. Sorry, guys.
No complaints here.
Stop and forgive me. And all the Twohig boys, they chose interesting careers. Several brothers opted to face daily challenges, deal with difficult situations, and constantly face belligerent people. And the other 3 joined the military or the priesthood. Number 3, I've come to learn that Dave is truly a financial wizard. He can take your hard-earned U.S. Federal Reserve notes and he can return them, a very tiny portion of them back to you as what I call T-notes, Twohig notes or Twohig Pro Shop dollars. But you quickly learn that the only place that you can spend these T-notes is in Dave's store. And you can use them to get and purchase his fantastic bargains. And you have to remember to pay him more cash for the governor, right? Always for the governor. I don't know who the governor is, but you give a lot of money to the governor. Now the main reason, number 4, is the main reason for Dave's magnetic personality. I think it's because he originated from a world-renowned metropolis known as East Hampton, Massachusetts. This is a place that is so dynamic that even if you look on its Wikipedia page, its main claim to fame is that it's near the 5 colleges, Northampton and Amherst. Look it up, that's what they say. It doesn't even mention that it's not even east of Northampton, it's south of Northampton. I think we drove south and somehow we got to East Hampton. I don't understand that at all. But the only thing I know about East Hampton is Nini's Pizza and the many, many trips that I made there to the Majestic Theater. Older people tell the younger people, before VCRs. But Dave remains a proud East Hampton High School Eagle to this day. Class of 70? 71, okay, good. And high school was the best 7 years of his life, so glad you remembered that. And here we go, Dave, number 3, Dave has a reputation as running one of the most hyper-fastidious golf courses in the state. Now I know some of you people are former professors and stuff, but I want to assure you that is a word. You don't believe me, look it up, you're all looking at your phones anyway, you might as well look up hyper-fastidious. But he is. He's amazing that, and I want to tell you why we know that. Dave has accrued a total of 13 ball washers on a 9-hole course. A state record. So, the way I look at it, we average 1.44 ball washers per hole, the highest in the state for non-mini golf courses. Now here, I'm going to do a little audience participation. I had 4 or 5 ball washer jokes, and my wife said I couldn't use any of them. So why don't you take a minute, make up a joke to yourself, and when you're finished laughing, I'll continue. I wasn't going to do it at all, but then Dave Farnham fell off of one, and he got hurt, so I'm going to stay away from that. Number 2, this one's a biggie, and I'm going to need your help now. Are you ready? He golfs. Okay, now, family is excluded from this, okay? No family. I want to see by a show of hands, how many people here have ever seen Dave golf? All right, everybody, okay, good, all right. You must be like over 80 years old. But I want to tell you about it. One day, Andy Phillips and I were out on the course. We needed to talk to Dave. And we went into the club, and Jack Shea was there. And he said, Dave's out on the course playing golf. We said, what? He said, he's playing golf. So he said, can we borrow a cart? We jumped in the cart, we started driving around. We finally, it's amazing that we found out from Jack, he spilled the beans. It seems he plays 9 holes of golf once a year with longtime family friend and PGA champion Bob Teschke. Bob was the top pro winner in 1954 with 4 championships. I think he was the top money winner that year as well. Not bad for a guy from Haydenville. You grow these athletes out here. So anyway, so Andy and I, we caught up with him and an entourage, and we caught him on the 8th and 9th hole. So we parked up on the hill and get a nice view. And with our own eyes, we saw Teschke, who was probably in his mid-80s at that point.
No, 90.
Mid-90s? Wow. 92, wow. That's amazing. Jeez. And we watched him, and Teschke parred 9, and Dave got a 4. So Dave, I promise, to rejoin the Noon League next year. I know you miss me, but if you'll be my partner, I will. Yeah.
I can interrupt you because here's the story. So we're on the 9th tee, I'm playing with Bobby Teschke, and we're on the blue tee, it's 178 yards, and he says, well, what does this look like to you? I said to him, here's the guy that was, for years, the teacher for Golf Digest magazine and whatever. I said to him, he on the tour, he won the Tamashana Open, which made him the leading money winner that year, which was $50,000, plus you get another $50,000 after that for $100,000, which was a lot of money at that time. So I said to him, can you cut a driver? Now here's a guy that played on tour, and I'm telling him, can you cut a driver? So he hit a driver, and it's a little wet in front, so he hit a driver just short of the green, chipped up 8 par. The end of the story.
Dave, I have one more page to go if you want to read the rest. And speaking of shooting your age, Dick Simpson, who couldn't be here tonight, didn't he shoot his age this week? He shot a 90, right? And he's not feeling well. He was supposed to be here tonight, and I had about 10 Dick Simpson jokes, but anyway, that's pretty good. Yeah, thank you for that recognition there. At Legends today, I shot my IQ. I broke 100, yeah. Okay, since Dave read the good part, Dave, you deserve an amazing amount of thanks. In summation, as we near the end of decades of Dave's leadership, I personally will miss him, and I will miss him especially answering all my questions with questions of his own. Sandy, does he do that at home? God, aggravating. And no, Dave, I didn't check the website to see the calendar of events. You're right there. I just asked you. I'm sorry. But I do thank you for re-gripping my ball retriever for the second time. That's a lot of use. And for advising me on the best way to get out of the sand trap on 4, which is the Phil Bell method. You just toss it, right? Right, Phil? With a flip, right, Phil? You showed me with your good shoulder. As you enter retirement, I hope you enjoy the Amherst Senior Center chair yoga class that you signed up for. And that it helps you meditate and contemplate on the important things on your mind, such as ways to get golfers to increase their pace of play, how to help seniors decide when they can play from the gold tees without guilt, and all those important things that you think about all the time. But in my very first trip to the clubhouse, I learned something. And I got a major clue about Dave's personality. As I'm walking toward the ramp, I see a sign. And the sign says, Golf Pro, Dave Twohig, reserved. And I have found you to be reserved. Dave, we'll miss your kindness, your patience, your gentle style, your common sense, which is not all that common in Amherst. I worked there for 28 years, believe me. Believe me, I know. And especially your even-handed approach to the challenging COVID years, your knowledge of the game, and your overall sense of fairness. I have personally taken golf lessons from you, but also lessons in life. And my 3 grandsons have all taken year camps. And I watched. And as I watched, I said, this man has the patience of Job. And I know Job is spelled J-O-B, and a lot of people would look at it and say, well, he's just doing his job. But no, he has the patience of Job. And I think he sees it as his calling to introduce youngsters to a great lifelong sport. And as the picture on the email invitation to the event showed you standing under a sign that says Twohig Way, in honor of you and your family, I didn't see it as just a well-deserved family name. I see it as a representation of golf done the right way, the Twohig way.
Speechless. Tom, how did any of us get into college with that kind of guidance? Wow. Thank you, Ron. It was amazing. I'd like to ask Kathryn Mahony and George Oulundsen, President of the Women's Association, President of the Golf Club, to come up, and we have a few things for Dave.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. It's a very special night for a special person. You know, it's one thing for somebody to work 46 years. It's pretty rare these days. It's a completely different thing for someone to work 46 years at the same place and come in every day and have to deal with a lot of the same people year in, year out, day in and day out. And I play with some of you, so I know how challenging that can be. So Dave deserves an incredible amount of credit for what he's accomplished, what he's done, and the course that he's helped build. And it's a great place, and we have a great group of people here tonight, and the members are pretty awesome, and that's a testament to the whole club. So, thank you. So, as Steve mentioned, I'm the newly elected president of the Amherst Golf Club Board of Directors, George Oulundsen, and this is my colleague.
I'm Kathryn Mahony, president of the Women's Association.
And we have the great honor to present Dave with 3 gifts tonight. And this is again a testament of his accomplishments and how much everyone feels for Dave and wants to give him some gifts and recognition for everything that he's done. So Kathryn will start with the first gift.
Dave, in recognition of your 46 years, the club membership would like to present you with a lifetime membership to the club. That also includes a guest person to come with you. And we appreciate so much what you've done, and I look forward personally to seeing you play. I can't imagine not seeing you out there, and I have not seen Dave play, so I would love to see you play.
Yeah, stay right here. So the second gift is all of you attended tonight, and many other members have given some donations for Dave for a parting retirement gift. And also the Legends, the Niners, the Women's Association, a lot of the other groups on the club donated some money as well. So we want to present Dave with a check for help him enjoy his retirement. So Dave, thank you very much. And stay up. The next gift is kind of special, and we're going to invite up Edith Hunsberger to present it. This is pretty remarkable gift that Edith helped create.
Back to the club, so no one I thank you very much for all the work you did.
Thank you, Edith. Thank you very much. That's all we had for tonight. Back to you, Steve, I think.
Those are pretty awesome. That's an amazing gift. Okay, so we've gone through everybody except the guest of honor tonight. This, Dave, everybody's saying it could be a minute or it could be an hour and a half. We'll go with somewhere in the middle. So, without further ado, I'd like to bring Dave up for his comments to everybody tonight.
Thank you. Just a point of fact here. I'm looking at this monitor here, and it looks like I'm Darth Vader, and you are a big Darth Vader. It's a shadow, and I don't know if that's something that's going to be, having voices come out of the shadow. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you all for coming. Since Ed started off, I was going to introduce my family, and I figured that takes care of half my speech now. But I did want to say a few things about my lovely wife Sandy, who people who have been long members probably know a little bit about her, in that she played a lot of golf in the 70s, took lessons from my dad, played a lot of golf with Glenn's wife Paula for years, and actually she finished twice second in the club championship, women's club championship. So she had a pretty good game and played a lot of golf. And then when we got Kevin Patrick, things started to turn the other way. So she became a mom, and we decided that that was the best way to bring up our little guy, is with mom and dad coming home. And thank her for that, and she said to keep it short tonight. So he's not here, but where did Kevin go? Kevin's right out here. My son Kevin, who's been introduced the Carter family. Kevin's brother Travis right here. Why don't you stand up? Stand up. Our young two boys, we got Chevy and Gage and AC. AC, stand up. Come on, stand up. AC and I go to the hockey games and try to snag a few T-shirts here and there, right? We'll have to do a little more of that. So yes, I'm happy to have my family here. I'm obviously proud of my family. I've got, to be born into 5 brothers is something unique. Not everybody gets that. I've got 3 brothers that went through the military. My brother Steve, who was in the Marine Corps. My brother John went to West Point. My brother Tommy went to Air Force Academy. His son went to the Air Force Academy. And so they served in the service. My brother Michael, who was in another service, taking care of all you sinners. My brother Ed and I had our own little war. We worked for my dad. So, all right. So I thought I had a lot of cards and letters from people, kind of congratulating me for what I've done and time spent, and I just want to read a couple of them. I won't read them all, but it says, "Dear Dave, on behalf of all of us at Amherst College, congratulations on your retirement. I join with legions of golfers in appreciation of your dedication to the Amherst Golf Club and in gratitude for the fun and fellowship you have fostered. The club is fortunate to have benefited from your expertise for nearly 5 decades and your family for over 8 decades. I hope your next chapter is filled with adventure and relaxation. Best wishes, Mike Elliott, President, Amherst College." For the years I've been there, it's always a funny situation with the college. They have become more and more of a partner, and has been very helpful. A lot of that was built over time, and a lot of it is the relationship we have with faculty and also with Carl and his working with the college on their facility end of it. So relationships are built, and it just looks like it's going to be better and better. So that's Mike Elliott. I have a couple others. I'll go quickly because I don't want to take too much long. This one's from Brad. Congratulations. I guess we won't read this one. All right, I got just one more. This one I think was sent airmail. If you ever talk to him on the phone, this is the way he rolls. Obi, congratulations on your retirement. When you speak at your party, don't mention that you were at my retirement party. When Kenny O'Brien retired, I think, I know that Len and Paula were at our table, and also Greg Aldridge at our table. The first words he said was, "You're saying all these nice things about me, why you let me go?" Also, Glenn, what do you remember about that meal? Greg, what do you remember about the meal? They were the smallest potatoes you ever want to see. They were the size of marbles, and I think they gave you 3 of them. It was like gourmet. How do you know I wasn't hungry? So Kenny continues here. Up here, we have sandbaggers up here too. We got a guy like that, George Hassafras, he feels more comfortable at a 22 than a 12. And Dane Simpson, who unfortunately wasn't here tonight, because I would say this right to him, he's never going to accomplish what I accomplished in my golfing career if he's only going to play half the course. You get the benefit of playing the whole course, not just half the course. Oh, and by the way, P.S. Tell Dick we have a standing tee time at 10 o'clock. We have an opening, but don't rush. Okay, just briefly, a couple of things I'm happy to be involved with. In 1984, I started the Legends of Golf, which was started with people like Karen French's dad, Louis Diet, a bunch of those old-timer Toby Tenero, and there was a situation where Hickory went through another change where they had a management company come in that I guess knew more how to run that golf course than the previous pros and the members. And they came up, we had a lot of people that joined our club. We started the Legends, which was similar to what they started on Hickory with their senior group. And as you know, 1984, that's 40 years of Legends. And I want to thank a lot of the people that helped along the way, Jack Conlon, a lot of people that took it over, and especially now, Sandy McNiven. Sandy, stand up, will you? Now, from that group, Jane Chalmers and Paulie Gabriel started the Niners, which was a rival group, but another group that brought more people into the club. If you look at the golf club as a whole, there's a lot of people that very simply just want to come up and play friendly golf in the afternoon. There's people that are looking for leagues, and the Niners and Legends hit those senior categories that consistently are right now killing it. I mean, they're averaging, the Legends are averaging close to 40 players on a day, and also the Niners are up in the 30s. So it adds an element to the club that is attractive to a lot of people joining. And we seem to have a shift between people that play competitive golf to people that play more casual golf, or seniors that have moved into less competitive roles, and so our weekend play kind of suffers a little bit, but we still have a lot of active people. So some of the other things too, as you remember, we lost our good friend Jack Shea, and we started the Jack Shea Scholarship, which was very helpful in that we were trying to promote getting kids having access to the golf club. And can Gene Gowdy stand up again? Gene Gowdy is associated with Jack Shea Scholarship. She does a lot of work. She handwrites all the letters that are sent out to all these kids, congratulating them for being welcome to the Amherst Golf Club as a junior member. We have quite a few people on that list, both boys and girls. A lot of times, some of them don't use it, but for example, the Amherst High Golf Team, the 1 player, 2 player, 3rd player, they're all Jack Shea scholarships. So it kind of facilitates getting them onto the golf team. And I got to do this for Jack Shea because he did a lot of work. He never wrote a book before, and then he liked to get into that library and go through all those records. He'd go to New York and he'd go to different places, looking up different things, and a little bit about the Amherst Golf Club. So our first club champion was a guy named John Anderson, who was the class of 04. That's 1904. That's when the course started in 1900. He was our first club champion. He was the first intercollegiate. He won the first intercollegiate tournament ever played. He won the French Amateur a couple times. He's qualified for several U.S. Opens. He was scheduled to play a match against Francis Ouimet at the Amherst Golf Club that never happened, but he was in that era. I know Eddie is here, and Jimmy Mack is here, Jimmy McDonald. This would be appropriate. If you looked at the hardcover book of the PGA, the first 100 years, and you look at the jacket, there's an invitation. And the invitation has all the amateurs that were invited to the, in 1916 that in New York, where they essentially started the PGA, and he's the second name down under Francis Ouimet, John Anderson, and that's something Jack was very, very proud of doing that research. So John Anderson, class of 04, of course, Coach Hickson would know that, right? As they say, I think he was a Jeff, was he? And so, speaking of members and people down here that I dealt with. When I was young there, we had the original dew dusters, and speaking about people in their own fields that were you know, top people. The dew dusters were made up of Camel Hassan's, Bob Hassan's dad. We had with him Admiral Julian Boyce. We had Kelly Kaiser, Carl Kaiser, Pete Kaiser's dad, who they lived on the 7th hole right at the top of the hill. A lot of people that were top people in their fields, and so the golf club has had a lot of prominent people that played. We had a guy who was knighted by the Queen, Bob Lenz, in polymer science in his own field. We had Dr. Troll, Joe Troll, who was a professor up at Stockbridge, and Carl was one of his students, and he placed all the superintendents all over the country. We have had a few celebrities. We had a guy and his girlfriend that played in the early 60s. My brother Ed tells the story all the time, but it was Julie and David Eisenhower at that time. So it's quite a thing to see, you know, Secret Service agents going around the course, and my dad kind of kicking them off because they didn't have and to have David Eisenhower drive up in that old beat up, whatever hot rod he had, you know, no, but it was great. And also people like Dave Hickson. Dave, stand up. You know, people know you, but they don't know you. And Mandy, stand up too. Stand up too. Dave Hickson, who was inducted to the National Benaces Basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, you don't have people like that, you know, all the time. And Mandy herself, the UMass Hall of Fame, and also coached a guy named Michael Hickson to 2 Olympic gold medals. I mean silver medals, right? Not to be the Chinese. But these are folks that are just, you know, regular players at the Amherst Golf Club. You wouldn't, you know, if you didn't know, you know, there's a lot of people that have done great things. And we have a couple, like, for example, I see a guy over there, Joe Hamill. Why don't you stand up? Joe Hamill, you know, is a doctor in, I would say, kinesiology or whatever. He worked with FootJoy, so all those FootJoy shoes that you wore from the early 90s on, he was the one that developed a lot of those shoes. And is Amanda still here? Now, Amanda, you're in kinesiology, right? And she's the Fitbit lady. She's the one that worked with the Fitbit that everybody, that Sandy's got one, she works out. So, you know, there's people that are top people in their fields, but at the club, they're just, you know, more people for the bag of clubs. So, a couple other things, just get into a couple things quick, because I know we want to wrap this up. You know, there's a lot of times when we had situations where we had to run tournaments and raise money for different situations, and you know, it all started, I think, when Steve Cutler passed away. There was a need to kind of bring people together and you know, help the family to get it going. And he was in line to be president of the club and passed away at a young age. Jamie Mullins tragically passed away, and we ran the Jägermeister for years, and we raised money for the Amherst Youth Lacrosse, plus our own junior programs, and Pete Blue. I mean, Pete Blue, who, you know, was got in a car accident on Christmas Eve and was paralyzed from the waist down. Every year we'd have a birthday party, and that's basically what he had. And it was through the support of the, you know, the golf club that always steps up big. We were able to get him, you know, funds so that he could, you know, watch TV and do other things. We've had a few other events, the Fisher Home, you know, the hospice tournament, which we raised a lot of money, and those are things that I think the club, you know, has done. So it shows their commitment to the community and all that good stuff. Other things I'm proud of, we've got them coming up shortly, is the November Fest. You know, we've expanded this from when we started in like the 80s. We had like one or two, and then we expanded them because we thought that, or I thought that when you get to the end of the year, when everybody's played a whole year of golf, and clubs are shutting down, we have people that are still want to be competitive, good players. We have people that travel and play in these things that over an hour away. One person weekends comes from the New York state line. And we have the good players that the Fasicks and all the Riccionis who passed away, but these people would come and play in these tournaments mainly because they still want to compete. They wouldn't come a long distance if the golf course wasn't in the top shape, which Mr. Teschke kind of takes care of, and they're consistent. They're consistent. So I'm proud of that. And also, you know, the camps that we run is nothing better than get a bunch of little kids together and, you know, not so much teach them golf, but get them together and try to get them to open up and kind of be themselves and start playing a game that they'll probably have for a long time and be able to have fond memories of. And I gotta very simply just recognize a little bit, I don't want to go on too much longer, but the kids, the people that work for me, I mean, I have a lot of kids that I got a call today from Andrew Hollander, who was worked for me. We thought that, you know, I taught him when he was 10 years old and on, and we thought his parents were like talk show hosts. This guy talks forever. But a great kid in a good position now. Some of the other kids are in great positions too, where they've gone on to bigger and better things. Grant Kelly, a kid that worked for me, had like 5 different jobs, had the worst penmanship you ever want to imagine. The only one that had the worst penmanship was his dad, was a high school teacher. But now he's gone through a lot of different things. He's now at Johns Hopkins. He's the head of development in the sports department and doing very well. And so it's things like that that bring out the best. And lately, just one more is Evan Rutherford, our former club champ, junior club champ. He's now working as in the PGA program. He's on a private course in Baltimore, and he's at a place where he's going to be the third assistant to move to the first assistant. And this PGA pro at this private club is a person that sends assistants to head pro jobs. Very good job. So I'm happy about that, and he's a great kid. As Larry Bernstein, I guess eventually we've got to, he says to Dave Lithgow, we got to land this plane. And so just a couple of things. I want to say something about the club. You know, this is going to be a change. You got somebody else coming in. This is the perfect time to update your brand. I mean, we are still the Amherst Golf Club, but it's time to have a new logo, have a new direction, do different things. We have a lot of established tournaments, which we have nice plaques in the pro shop, and those things are pretty good. But I mean, it's time to, you know, get a little bit more in touch with the membership that you have. I think we're doing a great job now and hitting out the markets, but there's other people that I think that we can bring in that can do that. And whoever comes in and replaces, hopefully, as always, you folks will support him or her, and also the superintendent. I mean, Carl's been here for a long time. He does a great job. And as I said to somebody, you know what I do, but you don't know what I do. It's the same way with Carl. People don't realize the little things that are taken care of that, you know, for on his end, that I mean, saves the club a lot of money. I mean, he's a guy that's got a budget, and if other clubs saw what he had for a budget, they would laugh. He should have 3 times the budget. It's not in our makeup, but he does so much with less, and I want to thank him and his family. So I guess Larry Bernstein would say to Dave Lithgow, it's time to land this plane. Well, thank you again for coming. It's been a great night. Is San Juan? Oh. No. I want to thank you. Also, one last thing. Is Mike still here? Mike Leffler leave? Babysitter, okay. Well, Mike Leffler is a good friend. He's the women's basketball coach at UMass. I was happy to see him here tonight, but we hope him well. Hope he has a good year. You know, it's a tough thing for a lot of sports teams getting into this new.
All right.
I will say one thing. I want you all to know one thing, and that is that I have lived with this man for 46 years. As unusual as it is, yes, he loves his job, has loved it every year that he has worked, but he has never, ever, one time woken up in the morning and told me, geez, I don't feel like going to work today. Ever. It's just unbelievable to me, because I don't care how much you like your job. Don't you get up some days and go, oh geez, I really don't feel like it today. Never once. So that's all I have to say.
Before I wrap it up, before I land this plane is Larry Bernstein. Larry's not here tonight, is he? No. Land this plane. AC, is there anything you want to say to all these people? Come on up. Come on up. What do you think about all these people? You don't know any of these people, do you? No. Well, say something good. He likes to go to hockey. You like to go to hockey games, right?
Yeah.
You like to catch the t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
Got a few t-shirts. We're going to do that soon, right? We're going to go to a couple of hockey games, a couple of basketball games. Huh? Okay, go sit down. Again, I want to thank the committee. There's a lot of people that do a lot of things that people don't know, and they'd rather stay anonymous. Oh, by the way, Jim Collins, another person that is a good friend and a friend to the club for a long time. And what you say, Jim? Do you think that not joining is like, not joining, being part of the institution, or he's been very loyal and a good friend. And thank you for coming tonight. Thank you. That's it, folks. Steve, you wrapping this up? You got anything else to say?
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for coming. Have a great evening, and cash in your Pro Shop credits before the end of the year, please.
Have a